Hi there, and welcome to the Call to Cinema. My name is Aaron, and this is early. This is a different time for me, so I'm not quite sure how many people we're going to get on a Sunday. We'll see how this goes. We are going to be talking about Vinegar Syndrome today and the bundle. And why am I doing this today on a Sunday? Because next Sunday I'll be working, and also because this is the last day to pre-order the Vinegar Syndrome bundle. There is two bundles. There is the Everything bundle and there is the Mystery Surprise bundle. Hey, there's Disconnected. Welcome, man. I am your local Walmart or Target because see, Halloween and Christmas all rolled into one. Um, this is actually from BioWare, who actually made some of the masks that I got as well. My geekier masks are made from BioWare as well. Thanks, John. I am holiday horror themed today, and I think it kind of fits because we're going to be looking at the Black Friday sale, and that to a lot of people, that is kind of a holiday for us collectors. Anywho, I've been hearing like a bunch of negativity online and a bunch of like different things when it comes to the bundle. So I thought I'd kind of dispel some stuff, talk about it, and give you my thoughts on it all together. This is where I got my hat from, Disconnected. I was in St. John's and I got it at Spirit Halloween. Hey there, Eddie, Franco, and IB. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic morning and you're ready to look in some Vinegar Syndrome stuff. And we're going to go over some of the negatives that's been going around online. And I'm going to put on my debating hat. So if I talk negative, maybe I'll just turn my hat a little bit, Bill. But for now, hey, Cinema Zach, finally an early stream. But we'll see if these go well. Maybe I'll do more early streams. So let's dive right into what Vinegar Syndrome has, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about some of the negativity. We'll go through a bunch of it. So here we go, right here. Here's the Vinegar Syndrome website right up there. And you know what I got to do? I got to put your comments so that if I go to the Vinegar Syndrome site and I don't see you, like here, I'll be able to see you right up here, which is kind of the cool way to do this. This is probably, for me, one of the most exciting bundles that Vinegar Syndrome has put out in a while, especially when we got a Euro horror and a Giallo double feature coming in October. We don't officially know that until next week, but kind of do. Turned 40 yesterday. Congratulations. Happy 40th birthday. I'll tell you one thing right now. Things kind of start at 40. I think I was close to that when I met my better half. So there you go. Look at the amazing things that can happen around that time period. Jets of 3 Titles review do make it a really great bundle. Now, missing Mark Cardona. Got yours pre-order for Flesh. Nice mug. Excellent. So as you can see right here, we do have 3 titles. It gives you the option of ordering the bundle, Flesh for Frankenstein on its own, the movie Censor on its own. That's the only thing that will not be included in the bundle. So if you want to get that at a lower price and you want to get it during the sale, you got to go that way to get it. Or you can order the 2 mystery titles all on their own. So let's talk about one of the big things that people have been saying is a negative first. Let's go with that. Let's do that first, and then we'll go into a lot of the what I like to call the positivity stuff of it here. Now, one of the complaints has been that Flesh for Frankenstein, oh my God, it's $50. How can it be $50? You know, cue the pouring rain and the whatever. But Flesh for Frankenstein, now let's look into this here. Had some people say to me, Videodrome, Trom is amazing. We are on the same page for for change. And this is like one of the biggest things for me. Merry welcome. So some people were upset that Flesh for Frankenstein was $50 and said, hey, if I buy Arrow Video on Amazon, it doesn't cost me $50. No, you buying it on Amazon. That's the thing. And Amazon does normally go cheaper, and it's a lot easier to grab something on Amazon and wait for a price match or a price down, especially if you use the app Keepa, which I do use actually. I know I am not sponsored by Keepa. I just like their app. I am too on the fence about Censor, but I think I'm just going to get the stuff that's coming in the package for right now. But it does look really good. It's a brand new line, and that really gets me intrigued. See, it's a VSP line, but I'm still collecting the VSA line, and I'm like around 2 to 3 behind, and I really, really don't want to go behind on that. Yeah, exactly. It is loaded with extras. We don't even know all the extras that Flesh for Frankenstein is going to have. Yet we do know that it's going to have a 4K release, and people say, well, they do the a lot of the stuff on their own, so it can't be that different or that pricey, can it? Well, yes, it does cost a lot of money to do something in a 4K restoration, and not only that, we're getting a 3D version of the film as well. So we're getting a 3D remaster for Flesh for Frankenstein, and they don't do it. There's not the cheap 3D. No, these guys usually go to the 3D Film Archive, places like that, to get this done. So we're looking at some really, really good quality stuff. Plus, for those that don't have a 3D TV, or maybe you just don't have a 4K TV yet, maybe you're kind of waiting around, you're getting a Blu-ray edition of this as well. This is a film by Paul Morrissey, which has been extremely hard to get for years. He's been very, very tight-fisted about keeping these films under wrap. So the fact that this movie costs the price that it does, and not including the kind of unique packaging that we have, and as they said, like right now, the packaging right there is, could be changed. I hope it's not actually. I actually like the packaging. So if somebody don't like the packaging, I like it. Too bad. It's really cool looking actually, and it has kind of those stitches. I like that. I bet they're going to be raised. That's kind of got a coolness to it, and apparently it's going to be different packaging than we have for. Well, if we don't get the soundtrack for Flesh for Frankenstein, as far as I know, now Mug, we may be able to order that. If the rights are there, then Vinegar Cinema do tend to put out soundtracks as a vinyl, as opposed to putting them with the releases, like Severin does. I love the shirt. I love this movie, and Blood for Dracula was an amazing release, and when it came out, I was like, grab Blood for Dracula, because Flesh for Frankenstein's coming. You're gonna want this. It's a really cool, really good, very artsy, very unique little film with Udo Kier, and probably at peak Udo Kier. So is this movie overpriced? No, not at all, actually. If anything, I was nervous that this was going to be priced higher than it is, because I'm pretty sure that we had because this one now, and if you want it not being priced too high, well, this would be the time to get it, because this thing rises up in price, jacks up like crazy once the sale's on and after the sale is over. So these 3 days, it's your time to pick up Flesh for Frankenstein on its own. Definitely more exciting than September bundle. It's okay what's coming in September. There's definitely films that I like, but these here are more my type of stuff. Oh, the rights for this would have been insane. I'm sure that the guys from Vinegar Syndrome probably worked with David Gregory, and between Vinegar Syndrome and Severin, that's how they were able to get the rights, with Vinegar Syndrome most likely taking the lead when it comes to that. Hey there, strange, and welcome. Welcome to another live one. Disconnected said that Censor has been getting some amazing reviews. This is a newer film. Now, remember, guys, this is not a regular Vinegar Syndrome release. Censor is going to be a different one from their VSP line, Vinegar Syndrome Pictures. Yes, exactly, John. If you got Blood for Dracula from Severin, you like that, especially, you definitely need to get Flesh for Frankenstein. Now, if you got Blood for Dracula and you really weren't like a big fan of it, then maybe not. This may not be your thing, but that's okay. Everybody has their own likes and tastes, and that's why movies are subjective, and that's why there's so many movies out there, and everything is not for everybody. Now, with all that being said, you can pick up the surprise bundle as well. You shouldn't pick. I understand it to a certain degree, Cinematech, like Severin and Vinegar Syndrome. They always are going to get compared, because they're pretty much the start of the base. The stuff that they do was very similar. But here's the thing: Vinegar Syndrome and Severin work together because they're friends. They don't actually. There's no huge competition, as in more probably a friendly competition. But Blood for Dracula, the reason that got over to Severin was very much due, from what I heard, from people at Vinegar Syndrome. So that's always good. Now, I will say that I do think Severin has lifted it up and has gone way, way, way above what I thought like most companies would do. But that's the thing. Um, if anything, what I want is for instead of people saying, "Okay, Severin is doing fantastic," and just using that as a negative towards the other company, say, "Okay, Severin's doing fantastic. Let's see how Vinegar Syndrome ups their game," rather than like, "Oh no, you don't have to put down one to put up the other. You can lift them both up at the same time." We don't need the negativity, do we? Well, what are my guesses on the other titles? Well, let's look here and see. Their clues aren't very good this time. Well, maybe their clues are good. I'm just not good at guessing them. We'll go with that. So it is $75.91 Canadian. If you want to pick up the secret releases on their own, or $59.99 US dollars. And for us, those over there in Great Britain, that is 43.87 in pounds. 43 pounds, 87 pence, as I learned to say it. So we have this one here, and it's basically, as we've hopefully demonstrated in the past, we often save the weirdest and wildest films as surprises. And this upcoming duel will be no different, including our first foray into one of the craziest horror film making cultures on Earth for what is undoubtedly in the top 10 wildest films of its type, presented on UHD for the first time. I'm expecting an Asian horror here, by the way. Plus a no less nuts, never on disc piece of American horror sleeves, lovingly restored for Blu-ray, and you can't go wrong. The clues are extremely vague, Disconnected. For those that did not see it, me and Disconnected did a video together here for the unveiling of this. Needless to say, I was fanboying out over Trauma because, as many of you guys know, Dario Argento is my jam, and I think Trauma is his most underrated film. So everything else is rated pretty much exactly where it needs to be, except for Opera. Opera 2, that one's sometimes used to get like ragged down, but Opera now gets a lot of love. So do I think we can get a Cat 3 title? It's a possibility, John. I mean, like, I know that 88 Films put out the the story Ricky O, and so I don't think it's going to be that, but I think it's going to be something kind of insane like that. If not, then it could be something like an Indonesian film, kind of like one of those super crazy. What was the one? Mystic and Valley, with the head floating, like vampire head floating around with their guts included. Rumors are Ebola syndrome. Why Ebola syndrome? Yeah, no, I pretty much, it wasn't short. It wasn't Ricky from, like, it's just gotten too new a release, and I think we've seen releases that before. I honestly hope not. Like, in truth, there's enough right there in those 3 releases that have been revealed that I'll be super happy. I'm hoping that, considering the time that we're living in right now, I really would rather not be Ebola syndrome or any type of pandemic movie or anything like that. Let's not do that. Hey, Darren, welcome, man. Yeah, I mean, like, Ebola syndrome seems like a bit of a massacre video or an unearthed films type of release. I don't think it's a Vinegar Syndrome title. I really don't think they'd spend the bones on that one, and really, I don't think that they would need to. Yeah. So let's hope it's not that. That is a bit kind of meh, to be honest with you. I don't want. I'm done. I'm done with the zombies and the cannibals for this year. I am. I'll take it, but I'm pretty much done with it. Like, at this point, like, you've given us a bunch of this stuff. Fantastic. We got Devil Story coming. There's Andy Lee's Meat Pies. We got we got a bunch of this stuff. So I'm okay with it not being anything of that ilk. Just, in my opinion, just for the type of stuff that I like. The worst would be in a cannibal film. I really am not a fan of cannibal films. Massacre in Dinosaur Valley, that was cool. Severin put that one out. That's actually a really good one. Now, it won't be a box set. We know that. We do know it's going to be a release. Now, some people said that they weren't going to get the secret releases because they were disappointed with the secret releases from last time around. But here's the thing. I did get your message, Darren, and I want to mention. I got to mention actually. So, Creature is not, by the way, if you're in the UK or in, or I have some people here from like from Sweden or areas like that. Just have a region-free player because Creature is the only one there, and one of the mystery titles that is region locked. So it is. So it won't be region free. So it was a Creature or Titan Find, Darren, that wasn't region free, because I think one of them is region free and then one of them isn't, and one of the secret releases isn't region free. Did these ever say what they're going to do instead of the canceled box sets? Ricky, I would assume that we'll find out in November or sometime shortly before, because there's something that they're going to really have to talk about, I guess, before it comes up for people to that want to like resubscribe. Obviously, subscribers are going to be asking that question, like, okay, before I resubscribe, what's going to happen with Cardona set? For those that don't know, there's been like they unfortunately, due to like some issues, some technical issues over in where they're getting the scans from, and the passing of Rene Cardona III, the Cardona box sets got pushed back until next year. I don't think they've had anything or had the time to get anything to replace those, so we're still having the same amount of releases that were aside from the two box sets. So obviously those are two box sets that are not there, but I'm sure Vinegar Syndrome before then, whether you'll probably end up getting like some kind of coupon or discount or something. Not a discount for like the next subscriber. That wouldn't be fair because not everybody's going to subscribe, but you'll probably get a coupon or something by November if they really can't put any extra releases in. And that's sometimes that is kind of all that they can do, because things go out of not everything is going to line up all the time. So I'm sure that they'll take care of it. And we got Trauma. We have finally got Trauma. So for those that don't know, Trauma is a Argento film, and it is one of the two films that he did over in North America. He made two over here. He made Trauma, and he made Two Evil Eyes. Now, Trauma was his only giallo that he made in North America. It has actors like Asia Argento. We got Brad Dourif in this one. We got Piper Laurie. It is a great cast. We got like some special effects work done by Savani. The killer has an extremely good weapon in Trauma, a very cool one. A lot of beheadings in this one. And at the time, Trauma got a lot of hate because it was a Italian giallo, but it was being shot here in North America. And whereas nowadays, I think like maybe not. I mean, there's so much negativity. Even back then, like Argento would come over to do this stuff. Hey, happy Sunday, Video Store. When I was young, we had what we call a Sunday dinner, and that would usually have like my Nana and Papa do it. We would have like usually like a turkey or a chicken. We would have potatoes, carrots, peas pudding, molasses pudding, and salt beef. So kind of like that. Hope they got a Zia. I think they did. I mean, John, a while back now, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but didn't we see like a picture on Azia's Instagram? Because you're damn right, I am signed up for Azia Argento's Instagram. One of my crushes since I was a kid, of course. That she showed her like doing an interview and didn't talk about what the interview was from. Trauma didn't feel like a Vinegar Syndrome release. It should be an Arrow release. Well, over in the UK, I'm guessing if they want to do Trauma, then Arrow is the place to. I saw it. It's all right. It's not, stick with the Jello. But here's the thing. Over the last year or so, we have seen box sets of Forgotten Jolly and Jallos and kind of proto slashers and Jallos, and we got a double feature Jallo coming in October. We got a Year of Horror box coming in October. Uh, Vinegar Cinema has very much staked the right to put out a Dario Argento Trauma. One, companies evolve and do different things. And the chance to put out Trauma on Blu-ray is a huge, huge, huge feather in the cap of Vinegar Syndrome. I mean, you have the right to be prepared for that. And does it seem like a Vinegar Syndrome release? Yes, it's much more than Resurrection. Seems like a Vinegar Syndrome release, but we're still getting it, and I still like it. I don't have the pre-order, Jesse, because luckily this time around I'm a subscriber. So basically, these are coming to me anyway. The only thing that I would have to order during a sale like this would be the VSAs. So that would be like the ones that I would be looking towards. But I'd probably, unless there's one that's going to be really going to be selling out, I'm 3 VSAs behind, so I'd be looking towards the earlier VSAs that I don't own because they'll be 50% off then, and that's really the time to grab that type of stuff. I know that keep an eye on, as I will be, on the especially the what's it, House of Usher or something like that, because that one is getting under 500 right now. It'll make it to the sale, but it will just barely make it to the sale, I think. So we'll look into that as well. If you get a chance for Argento, you do not pass it up. They could be putting out Argento's Dracula 3D. Would you pass it up? No, a company does not pass it up because it's Argento and it's Dracula. And as cheesily bad as Dracula 3D is, who wouldn't love to own that in a really, really cool release? I watched this with my better half. We both after we got finished watching Dracula 3D, we both kind of wanted a neon green t-shirt of the praying mantis that Dracula turns into because, oh my God, he turns into a praying mantis. Do I ever think that they're going to put out like a Severin style, like looking at a director? I think it'll be something that they'll do in the future. I think right now Severin has kind of staked their claim with that. Obviously, Criterion has done versions of that as well with the Bergman set, and eventually, we got the Fellini one, and Varda. But I would say, Jack 30 says in camera. It is actually. I like Adrian Brody. I was not a big fan of that film, but maybe I need to rewatch it. I don't think so. Ramiro's Amusement Park came out on Shudder, and I would say that it's probably going to be coming out from a company related to Shudder. I can't remember the company that does Shudder releases here in North America. I think it's RLJE, something like that. There you go. John, right. RLJE, yeah, they do a lot of that stuff usually sometimes around Christmas time, or like last year, for instance. Not last year, the year before last and the year before that. After my better half would end up going to Morocco. So I would go to I was working at the mall. Well, in this like place in the mall. So I would go after work and I would look and I'd see, okay, what's a very cheap film I can buy that Hayden won't get angry about. And usually our LJE releases were those releases. So you got a lot of like Shudder releases, things like Trick, which is really things underrated. I'd like to say company put out a good version of Trick. If Jello on DVD for 10 years, I still watch it. That's probably a sign, actually. But Amusement Park, I mean, it'll be an interesting release, but I'm going to say right now, I would buy Amusement Park. I wouldn't spend a lot of money on Amusement Park. It's an interesting little film, but it's not like I'm going to be watching Amusement Park every year type of film. It's going to be like, I'm going to watch this once or twice, and I'll kind of dive back to it every once in a while. But it is kind of an sort of an educational film, a bit of an industrial style film, and a bit of a downer. See, everybody, like John is a big fan of Giallo. Mike hasn't seen Giallo, movie Giallo. This is about not the Giallo, but the Giallo's in the film that John put out. Spending on Blu-rays and food. I understand how that can work. But food is very important to me because I can't watch my Blu-rays unless I have food in me. I'll just be like a skeleton over there, and there you go. All right, so let's look into this here one right now. I forgot to do this thing. Okay, if you are here and you're watching this and you've been watching for a little while right now, If you have not, please hit the like button, like, share, subscribe, do all that jazzy type of stuff. There are links down below for my Patreon. This week, by the way, on the regular channel, we're doing 2018, A Year in Horror for our tier list, and for the Patreon one, we're doing 1976. There is also a donation link if you feel that is something that you want to do, and a super chat thing down below. With all that being said, I got all my kind of commercialization-y stuff out of the way because I have to do this because I don't have a sponsor. So, and it's getting near to the end of the month, so it's very important to do this right now. I'm actually very excited and very, very glad, Cinematech, that Flesh for Frankenstein isn't a VSU, because if it would have been a VSU, it would not have been something that would have been in the package. Also, I don't think we're going to get much of this style with VSU. I think VSU is very much going to stay in the wheelhouse that it's in, like the Beastmaster, the Six String Samurai. I think we're going to get a lot more action-y oriented stuff and fantasy stuff within the VSU lineup. And I kind of like the fact that they're doing that. Hey there, Keter. It's in payment for the Flash pre-order. And it's good. I mean, like, and is this Flash pre-order worth it? Is it worth it to grab this? Well, one thing, Disconnected talked about this one in his amazing video on Vinegar Syndrome, and that is that free shipping is not on during the sale. So when free shipping is not on, what happens is that we will go out there and we will look at stuff and we'll be like, oh, what should we do? Like, if you're living over in the UK, if you're living in Canada, or you're living somewhere where you think it's going to cost you a bit of money, there is special packaging for Flesh for Frankenstein. Yeah, the free shipping is still there for us. Like when it comes to, like, if you're a sub, like you're getting, you've already paid for your shipping, Ricky, when you got your subscription. Which totals aren't included during the sale. Usually it goes back 3 months, Video Store. So what we're looking at is like, Severin goes back 6 months when it comes to their releases. Vinegar Syndrome normally goes back 3 months. So go back 3 months, and of course there's no, there's no month for the for partner labels. So I doubt that's included. So if it's November, then the October, September, and August releases. Hey there, Josephine, welcome. Would not be. It does have a very Twilight Zone-ish vibe to it, Jesse. Nice. So there's like, I don't think it does actually, Ian. I understand what you're saying, but you have to understand that we're not just looking at, this is not just a regular release. It's not just the 4K release. Flesh for Frankenstein was a movie that was done in 3D. That VS might be releasing the Granny. I would love to have the Granny. And I don't think Paul Morrissey would want it, to be honest with you, Ian, released like that. I'm the fact that Blood for Dracula is getting a 4K release and Flesh for Frankenstein is getting a 3D 4K release with a Blu-ray included, is basically due to the fact that, in all honesty, this is how Paul Morrissey wanted it released. So he would being a filmmaker, probably want this released uh, in the same way that it was released in the theater, for you to see as close to his vision as possible. So, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video when you weren't here, I don't think the $50 price tag is remotely like kind of a bad price tag for this type of film, especially considering you're getting a 4K of the film. You're getting the getting a 3D version of the film. So those are different remasters that you got to pay for right there. You got the remaster of the 4K that you're doing. You're doing a 3D release of this film that's going in there. And this movie is one that I think most people would have been upset about if it hadn't come out in 3D. So that would have been a big loss there as well. If this had just come out as a regular Blu-ray release, everybody would be saying, "Okay, why isn't it in 3D? How come this is not a 4K release? It's a Paul Morrissey film." They'd be complaining on the other side. So, "Oh, I would pay extra to get it like that." But now, because it's coming out like this, people are flipping it and saying the exact opposite. So now this one here is getting a very kind of special, apparently box when it comes. So let's just see here, because I know it said here some kind of special hard box release is getting a deluxe hard shell case. So it's also going to get it's a deluxe hard shell case as well. Even that old-fashioned style of 3D, the Anogaf that you're talking about, Ian, that does cost to restore. And the fact that they use people they usually go with 3D Film Archives and companies like that to do the 3D restoration, which is really amazing. So you're going to get the top 3D release. They didn't chintz out, and I think for a movie like this, an important film like this, it's worth if you got the bones to do it, Ian, to save up, even if this is the only release you get. And if you love this film, you're going to want it in the best possible way. And you're going to be, okay, I paid a bit for it now, but look all everything that's included. Look all the stuff that I got within this release. Because for a lot of people, this is myself included, it's been a dream release we've been waiting for a long time. And I'm kind of glad that they didn't standardize it. Because if they had, I would have been very disappointed, because it would have been like, okay, we're going to do this release just like it's any other release. And I personally don't think that Flesh for Frankenstein is just like every other release. Is it really? If it is, I like it. I like the font. I know this, we're not quite sure if this is going to stay. And well, I am on my computer, so that's probably yeah, but let me know if anybody's having any problems with the stream. But let's look at the whole bundle. And here we got the whole bundle. If you want to save on the shipping price and you're not a subscriber, of course, if you're a subscriber, then you're gonna. Well, Blu-rays did kind of lower in price in a lot of cases, Jesse, when you think about it. Like, obviously, inflation. Some Blu-rays are going to go up. But we've also got those straightforward Blu-rays that make it to the $5 bin eventually, So the 3 announcements we got so far is Dario Argento's Trauma, Flesh for Frankenstein, which we knew because it got leaked out early, and Creature. And I am extremely excited about these releases here, because we're not only just getting Trauma. I like Flesh for Frankenstein. Now, it depends. I liked it. Did you, Video Star, did you pick up Blood for Dracula? If you like Blood for Dracula, you're definitely going to like Flesh for Frankenstein. Can I reset my quality options? Not right now. No, not in the middle of a video. Oh, you're talking to me. I was going to say. Because Darren, come back, man. You would be missed. Yeah, generic releases, boutique Blu-ray releases. The more work they put in, the harder it is to get some of these releases here. When you're buying like something like a Flesh for Frankenstein, a Blood for Dracula. Usually, you're getting those from the source. You're getting those from the creator, the person, the rights holder of the films. When you get certain other releases, Vinegar Syndrome, Severin, they're acquiring movies in bulk. They're getting like a bulk lot of films. So it's you're going to get stuff that are going to be like that are going to be cheaper to get in the long run. They can take a lot of chances on because basically they got a bulk lot of films. You don't need to see my face. Often I don't even come on here at all. You just see the screen. But I think, Ian, if like the one you make it like a more of a regular release, or at least a 4K Blu-ray release down the road, I would. But the thing is that these are collector like this is the collector like market of releases. The we will get certain casual fans that'll buy this, but to be honest, they're gonna make the biggest brunt of what they do on collectors. They did Ebola syndrome. Mention had to be 4K release. Does Ebola syndrome? Okay, I gotta ask you guys. Does Ebola syndrome have a big fan base? Because I'll be bluntly honest with you, don't even remember the movie Ebola syndrome. Like I sort of remember it, but not very well. Usually, well, God, I wish I could tell you because Josephine, that happens to me all the time. Unfortunately, as I'm getting older, it takes longer for these muscles to heal. Uh, but I usually use heat actually. Yeah, like so I've heard a bunch of people say, "Well, Ebola syndrome." Like that doesn't even sound remotely intriguing to me. Before we do anything else, let's do this. Let's go over and see what the hell the Ebola syndrome is. Now, if this is a movie about if this is a virus type of movie, I can tell you right now, I'm not going to like it. Like I'm really not going to like it. He's trying to play wanted for murder, contacts Ebola by assaulting a woman in South Africa and starts an outbreak there, and in Hong Kong when he returns home. Uh, yeah, no interest, zero interest. Uh, just if it comes out, fantastic. I know the censorship thing in China is a thing as well. But I'll be honest, nothing about that intrigued me. See, that does not sound fun to me. I'll be bluntly honest with you, Jesse. That is the opposite of fun for me. See, you know, but I'm me. Well, that's the thing. There, at the end of the day, guys. Hey there, and ready, welcome, man. It doesn't matter because Jesse, if it's for you and it's what they end up releasing, that's kind of cool. I have three releases right here that I know right now in this bundle I'm going to love. Anything else in this bundle is gravy. you know, so if you're a splatter fan, if you're into category 3 a lot, if you like this kind of these hardcore style films, then cool. Because at the end of the day, I have Dario Argento's Trauma, Paul Morrissey's Frankenstein, and William Malone's Creature. So that's like worth it. No, they wouldn't put a VSA as a mystery title, John. Um, the mystery titles are all titles that we're going to be getting, and VSAs are always things that you have to buy separately. Maybe next year. It's going to either way. I mean, like, what if it's Ebola syndrome? Fantastic. Maybe it'll be something that I'll like when I see it. It doesn't intrigue me, but that's okay. Does it? If I wasn't if I wasn't a subscriber, would I buy this anyway? If I had heard that, yes, I would actually. Even Jesse, if it was the two Cardona collection titles, which it's not, but I would still get it because I really like Trauma. I really like Flesh for Frankenstein, and I really like Graham Malone's Creatures, and I love the fact that Trauma is getting two cuts of the film. We got two cuts of the film for Trauma. Both its international English version and its Italian theatrical version, and we are getting two cuts of Creature. We're getting Creature and its original theatrical cut, as well as, and you guys in the UK will know this, the alternate Titan Find version of Creature. So, in a way, you've already gotten five movies there. So you got Fletch for Frankenstein, Creature and its alternate version, Titan Find, and Trauma and its alternate version as well. That means we've already gotten a 4K release with 3D. We've gotten two massively exciting Blu-ray releases that are going to have, going to have some sexy covers on it. And we got two other releases coming. One of them is a 4K release. So we're getting two 4K releases and big ones, not just a small 4K. We're getting one huge one with Frankenstein. And that's a huge release. That's going to be not just huge as in it's a big deal. It's a big thing. It's a set, basically. This is basically a set. You want to see a set? Flesh for Frankenstein is kind of a set. And we're getting another 4K release. We know it's not the story of Ricky O. Some people think it's Ebola. I don't think it is. I think it's something else that we're not even thinking of yet. I will say this, and Disconnected knows this is true. I feel glad that, so far, with every release that's come out for the Black Friday and halfway sale, I've been able to guess at least one. So I guessed Creature this time around. So I'll pat myself on the back for that. So there you go. And I think 88 Films is a good place if you're looking for the Category 3 releases and stuff like that. So definitely look towards that. Euphoria. I kind of remember that one. Actually, I would like that one. Do I think? Oh, I never even thought about that. Do I think the box will pull apart the seam? Maybe, actually. That's kind of cool. That would be kind of cool. I just thought it might be embossed, Mug, actually. That's even better idea, though. Because I actually feel like skin. Well, it is a hard box. So I'm not sure if it'll feel like skin or if like that, if this is because this is here, as you can see, or you probably can't see on my screen, it says temp artwork. So this may not be the final artwork that we get for Flesh for Frankenstein, although I like it as it is. Now, there's people complaining that they already don't like the artwork when it literally says on the thing that it's temp artwork, that we don't know for sure, like if this is the artwork in the end. I do like it. I think that if that doesn't open like that, then and we do keep that style of artwork, then that is going to be an embossed stitches, and I think that'd be amazingly cool. Made with real skin. There you go. That'd be an awesome way to do it. But I can't see people like over complaining with this. And now everybody's got their own different stuff that they get excited about. But well, actually, that's not true. When you think about it, they've put out the Phantasm, which I personally think Semtex shouldn't have been in a Picaram release. It should have been on a regular bundle, by the way. If Vinegar Cinema wanted to put out the Phantasm release and like double feature in place of the Cardonas and give us those instead, I would be so down with that. But we also got Debbie Does Dallas too, actually last month. But they did say, we're getting the the release is expected for the adult titles. Silicone Rubber Rock. Yeah, Evil Dead Special. I remember that one. I don't have that one. That's probably the reason why. I would love, Mike, love for this to be Naked Killer. Huge fan of that film, actually. There you go. So I'm not a fan of Ebola syndrome or whatever that one's called, but I was a huge fan of Naked Killer, and I used to have the DVD of that one back in the day. Now, see, you may think that that's kind of a trolling comment, Cinematheque, when you say more Cardona, but actually, Cardona Senior films would be much better than Cardona Junior films. That's just me. But I'll say right now, I would much prefer Cardona Senior than having to sit through more Cardona Junior. They're hard. They're not well edited, and they're long. Oh my God, they're long and they're so boring. See, I'd rather Naked Killer. Hey there, Dustin. Welcome, man. Did you? Are you a subscriber, or did you for Vinegar Cinema? Or did you pick these up? I can't remember. I know we talked about this. But these are fantastic releases. I mean, I don't think I'm very surprised that there are people that are disappointed that this is what's been announced. Because who gets disappointed with an Argento release? In all seriousness, that's pretty much an across the board usual fan. About the one. Excellent. So you get free shipping, Dustin. So, yeah, I cannot picture. I don't have an uncut, unfortunately. I probably still have the cut version as well. So it'd be nice to see him put it out, actually, Mike. Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty. I think I've been. Hey there, Peter. I've been pretty honest when it comes to when it comes to my thoughts on Vinegar Syndrome. And early on, people one named me Vinegar, Mr. Vincent a while back. Censor. I would like to have censor myself, actually. But here's the cool thing. Here's the thing I want to talk about that I think is important. Is that I will tell you when I'm disappointed in something and when I'm not. But I was honest. I said I like Terminal Law, and I was glad that was coming. I was not a huge overt fan of Girl School Screamers. I was not a big fan of Blades, and I said that even knowing that there's fans of Blades that watch my channel. I'm honest with you guys when I like something, when I don't like something, because I feel that's the best way to be. For me, we got a sci-fi monster film here, like an alien style knockoff alien style film. We got a film that has been wanted for ages, which is The Flesh for Frankenstein. We got another film that's been long on the want list for Giallo fans, for horror fans, for fans of Argento, for fans of Asia Argento, for people that like Tom Savini. So it checks a lot of boxes. Actually, I like Murder Rocks. I don't think it's his best, but it's an awesome film. And everybody should own it, by the way. It checks a lot of boxes. So I think it's slightly disingenuous sometimes. I know everybody's different opinions, so I don't want to be too harsh when people are like, oh my God, this is really this what a disappointing bundle this is. I kind of don't believe you. I mean, maybe you don't like Argento, and you don't like Giallo, and you don't like creature films, and you don't like Savini, and you don't like Azia, and you don't like the horror, the earlier horror films, and you don't like 4K, and you don't like 3D. But at that point, I got to ask, what do you like? Because for me, it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on here. This checks the boxes. I'm super excited for this bundle. I think this is a great bundle. And if certain fans are wanting slasher films, bam, right there. Trauma, it's a slasher film. If they want splatter stuff, right there, bam, Frankenstein, Flesh for Frankenstein. It's got its splatter. It's got lots of gore in it. If Trauma, tons of gore. Savini too. So if you're a slasher fan, you're probably you should be looking at Trauma and saying, wow, that's got Tom Savini gore. That's not just gore. That's got Tom Savini. That's the godfather of gore for slasher films. That's a pretty big deal. Yeah, if you don't like it at all, disconnect that. Vinegar Cinema is probably not for you. Now, I'm sure there are people that have come in Vinegar Cinema later on. Maybe they got rad, maybe picked up some of the action titles that are probably going to be more excited when the VSAs get announced, because the VSAs usually tend to have like a more of an action one there. But here's the thing, Simtech, they would be wrong, because just because Argento's name on it, this time it is American. This one was shot in the United States. This does have primarily U.S. actors as well. So, because this, you're talking something like to one of the ultimate slasher fans. Like, I grew up in that era. Is this a giallo? Yes. But does this still check the boxes of every slasher fan out there? Oh my God, it really does. Gory kills, yes. Tom Savini, yes. Like the shot in North America, yeah, got that as well. This for me has been the best bundle that I've seen them put out this year. There will more than a mug. We'll have one probably for sure. Normally, though, mug, we get around 2 Vinegar Cinema VSA releases come out during a sale. I haven't seen yet once when there has not been 2 VSA releases. So expect pretty much just put your money across for 2 VSA releases for the sale, because that's usually what you're going to get. That's the one thing you're going to probably have to get outside of this. There will not be a VSU that would have been announced by now. If there would be. The VSP is taking the place of the VSU this time. And in all honesty, Frankenstein is good enough to be VSU. People have to understand to give it a shot. There's just too much great stuff here. Any martial arts or kung fu bundles? Now, you won't get a lot of that from, well, you get a lot of that, Josephine, when you're looking at like 80 films. But 80 films, but when it comes to Vinegar Cinema, we are starting to see more releases, especially a lot more, Josephine, for like the action films and stuff like that. Whether it's like hey there, Juan, welcome. Whether it's the champagne and bullet style action, or it's the much better Alley Cats style of action film, then we have a lot of stuff here. Yeah, Severin just announced a Mike Lee film. So there you go, which is an excellent release. So think about that for a second. So they're saying, well, this isn't Vinegar Cinema enough for me. These companies are evolving, and they're doing more, and they're doing different stuff. I remember when Arrow started to do this. I was one of the people that got very upset when Arrow started to change and not do all giallos and stuff like that. And I was wrong, and I eventually got over it. And Arrow's become such an amazing company. Darren, I actually did a video. Hopefully you got to see it. Umbrella Entertainment put out Nightmares and the 1980 film. And I did a review and ranked of all four Umbrella releases last night, and I put it up here today. And Nightmares is a lot of fun. I'm proud of what Severin's done and how they've changed. And I'm proud that Vinegar Cinema looks to be going back on, like, well, I hate to say this, like, because I seem like such a hypocrite. For me, it's like, oh, they're going back on track. They're doing stuff that I want. But I gotta step back a bit and look at it from like a perspective as a company that doesn't I would definitely do. Oh, a video Nasty's tier list is an amazing idea. I will definitely do that. Uh, that could be for the month of October. I won't be able to rank them, but we'll be able to tier them because there's 72 of them. I haven't grabbed Overboard yet, but I really loved Master Chaos's video on trying to get it out of the slipcover. Oh man, I know my mom's actually probably grabbing that when we were at the record shop in St. John's, Sunrise Records, and mom, like, I was looking through the Seven stuff and looking at all that, and this just goes to show you like how important like these other releases can be. Now my mom does not buy a lot of movies. Not definitely not on a regular basis. She doesn't know one. She wouldn't know one company from another unless I was telling her about them. And she's probably zoning out at that point. But we were going into Sunrise Records, and we're looking around. I'm looking at the Arrow stuff, I'm looking at all the different releases and Severin. And mom looks and she picks out a like Overboard. And he said, I can't pick it up today, but I'm definitely coming back for this movie. So here you got somebody that's not a movie collector, that doesn't know Vinegar Syndrome from Severin from Arrow, like most like people that do. And this movie here is something where she's like, you know what? This is something I want. And that is a big deal. Now, that's the thing here. Some of these releases are going to be for me, like some releases are not. Now, Ebola Syndrome, if that's the release, I'm kind of iffy on that. But that's okay, because here's the thing. Ebola Syndrome, if that 10 is what it is, or Naked Killer, or whatever it turns out to be, could be something that brings in somebody, not me, somebody that hasn't looked at Vinegar Syndrome before, like Rad did. Like I was baffled that Rad came up from Vinegar Syndrome. I'm not going to love to say it. I'll have to help you get that. But here's the thing. It brought a lot of new eyes into Vinegar Syndrome. It brought a lot of new eyes into Vinegar Syndrome. And Severin, like, my mom would never have picked up a Severin title before. Overboard means my mom's going to pick up a Severin title. And that's something that we got to really think about sometimes. And I agree. Severin really, 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 I'm guessing, like the guys at Severin, by the way, seem really nice. So like across the board. And they got to work on the website. They got to get somebody working on the website that's not going to rip them off. Because I truly think that they have, like, whoever's worked on the website before, whoever like caused the big crash, because they outsource for stuff like that. Ripped off Severin, I think. Because Severin, I love the company, I really do, and I love the stuff that they do. But when you go to the website, it looks like it was done in 1995. Actually, Sidekicks Mike would be an excellent release for Vinegar Syndrome. They could easily do that. They could easily put in a movie like Sidekicks, or one that I want. I'm more of a skateboarder. Well, not now. I'd follow my ass and break something because I'm 50 years old. But back in the day, I was a skateboarder. So Gleam of the Cube with Christian Slater. That's something that I would love to see. So we got a bike film. I know some people would probably be upset for like a Gleam of the Cube type release, but not me. I personally that's something that I would really I would get. I would have to pick up. That's like if a Cynthia Rothrock film comes out from Vinegar Syndrome and a VSA, I have to have that. I'm a huge Cynthia Rothrock fan. I think she's very underappreciated. No, not all the box sets, Jesse, just the Cardona sets. So there is still a Euro Horror box set coming coming in. It should be October. There are 2 Cardona sets were canceled. There's a Euro box set coming, and the Giallo double feature that was going to initially be coming in August or September, I think, is coming now in October. BMX Bandits. Oh, hell yeah. Umbrella, which, by the way, is an extremely underrated company. Really underrated company. Put out BMX Bandits. And also, pimping myself here, I did an Umbrella video last night. Check it out because there's some great releases. If you don't own Malcolm from Umbrella Entertainment, you're truly missing out. So, such a shame, Cinematech. No more Cardano's coming out the rest of the year. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that we're getting the releases that we're getting now, considering everything that's going on, considering how hard it is. And this is not my. I wish this was. I truly wish this was my day job, but it's not. I have a day job, and in that, I I'm a supervisor, and I do deal with all the time with this with people that are angry because they're not getting their things on time or not getting something at the right time. I don't think I'll be, and it's mostly Joel. To be honest with you, it's going to be a probably because I can't afford it. To be completely honest, this did change my mind though. I was pretty sure that I was not going to resubscribe, uh, and then when I saw these, this really made me think. At Cinematheque, I did not even know there was a Malcolm remake, but to be honest with you, so I don't think I've seen it, but I will tell you this one: the original film is magic. I don't know how powerful I am, but I'm having fun. Well, I think, Maddie, we're going to get some really, really good stuff in October and November. And I think this is it. This is what they're doing. They are pulling out all the stops. They're at the point now where, okay, some people are kind of unsure. There's been like people talking on like Twitter, like myself included. Um, I said, well, because when the VSP thing was announced, I thought, I was at work and I kind of naively thought, that oh my god, it would be horrible for that. I used to do IT Cinematech, but not website. Now my son, he could do it. Wes could definitely sort the website. That's what he does. That's what he does. He actually works on my websites. But yeah, when it comes to these here, when it comes to the releases, when it comes to what's being done, I don't know. I'll do a I'll do a pledge drive. I'll do a begging video where I say how many donations I get. If I get enough donations. If I get enough donations, then if I get enough donations to cover the resubscription fee, then I'll resubscribe. Actually, no, guys, don't do that. Hopefully, I'll be in Morocco next year, so it won't matter. I'll just be getting the stuff that I want to get. But yes, I would love to be able to resubscribe. Yes, 100% Ricky. The first half of the year, if you were a subscriber, hey there, Dave, welcome, man, for the entirety of the year, then you made killer. You made bank and even more with the releases that came out this year. From like right now, from Trauma to Frankenstein to the Homegrown Horses to the Forgotten Jelly sets that came out to the TV Terror set that came out as well. Yeah, it looks like, John, that's we should be getting a Giallo, a Euro horror set, and two other releases. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going. A Giallo double feature, actually. And some people are like, well, Frankenstein is expensive as compared to like, say something. I did like the Patrick remake. Actually, I wasn't sure if I was going to. Mark Hartley's a good director, so I knew I was going in fairly solid. I'm going to be doing like a video on it eventually, but I actually did like it. Did you like Cinematech? But the thing is, like in all honesty, if you go to Arrow's website themselves and you like go to your XC currency and you change over some of the Arrow 4K releases and how much the Frankenstein one release cost, uh, it's for some of the bigger releases, the Arrow releases, it's fairly comparable. Actually, I'll find out for you now, Mike. Let me just grab my iPad and I'll let you know. Now we haven't been told anything when it comes to the Euro horror box set. All we know is that it's Euro horror. I don't think we've been told any of the releases that are in the Euro horror set. But when it comes to the Giallo double feature, and the actually it was announced, so this one is official. It is Nothing Underneath and Too Beautiful to Die. So those are the two that are. Well, the big Criterion one, I know the Citizen Kane one's going to be at least, I think, over $50. And certain ones going to be cheaper. Certain ones will be more. Certain ones will be cheaper. So just to give you guys an idea, let's go to IMDb and see if I can find the films here. Let's look for Nothing Underneath first. But first, let me actually put letters into a search bar. This is the one right here. So I'll just, not sure if this is the artwork they used or not, but right here is Nothing Underneath. A 50% off, not for me, not for you. This kind of thing, because usually Unobstructed View does like 40% off on their sales, and unfortunately, we don't get stuff here anymore for. A serial killer roams the city of Milan, Italy, using scissors to assassinate and kill top models. A park ranger from USA arrives in the city to protect his sister, but realizes that she has vanished. He starts searching for her, meeting with a lot of people, and getting to know the sometimes dangerous world of the international jet set. Directed by Carlo Vencina. See if they have the second one here as well. Yes, they do. And the second one is right here, which is Too Beautiful to Die. It is, but last time Disconnected, I don't think we could get it here in Canada for Barnes Noble. The models of an agency are invited to a party by the owner of the agency, Alex. During the party, Alex is playing games on his computer, and looks like the girls have the house to themselves. But there's another guest. So you're not just getting one, like Giallo, you're getting two Giallos, and with a theme. You like Nothing Underneath, Mike? These are both Italian Giallos. You can see Dario, born in Milan, Italy. And just so you know, we actually get Donald Pleasance in Nothing Underneath. Remember when they when they said that that there was a movie with Donald Pleasance like eating spaghetti? Well, then this is the one. Nothing Underneath is the one. And here we got Carlo Vencina, who is the brother of Enrico Vencina, a movie writer. Born in March, one of the greatest months of all time, because that's my birthday month. So it'll be interesting to see this. It's a Giallo double feature. Is that at Wendy's? Is he eating spaghetti at Wendy's? That'd be awesome. But I love the fact, we got like not just Donald Pleasance, but we got Big Laura as innkeeper. I have no idea who Big Laura is. I just love that name. It's it's very interesting. Who the heck is Big Laura? Did she do anything else? Or is this like just one of those like names for one? No, like she did two films, Blue Tango and Nothing Underneath. There you go. Is she like super tall? Is that it? John and Venice with your father, but didn't come. That's not bad. Landlords are murderers. Are we thinking back on those like those creepy landlord movies? But there you go, guys. You got stuff to look forward to in the month of October as well. And just so you're getting two Giallos at least, and you're a horse, so there might be other Giallos in your horse that you never know, right? Plus, you're getting trauma. in November. So how awesome is that? Like, which Vinegar Sympathizer do I rewatch the most often? That's a really good, really good question, actually. When I first picked Incubus and Woman's Torment, have definitely got watch for me a bit. Um, the original three Taboo trilogy, those, but those were more so. I was going to make a video on the Taboo series, and I haven't done it yet, so I kind of have to rewatch. But there's certain releases. Scanner Cop, I'm sure that one's going to get a lot of rewatches from me. Alley Cat, I really liked, so I'm definitely going to be rewatching that one. Um, but as for like the older stuff, let's look. I'm actually kind of curious, like what I know that I start counting is something that I've watched at least 3 times now. That's not Vinegar Syndrome. It's actually Fun State Edition. It's the partner label, but it's one that I recommend. So let's do a quick look at their. Let's go back. Nightmare Weekend. Actually, a lot of people don't like this one. I love Nightmare Weekend. That was like a ton of fun. Crazy, cheesy, insane. I don't know if my cousin Roger's watched it, but I kind of want to make him watch it. It's a good one, and I think you'll think it's nuts. Um, I like Murder Whip and Deadly Embrace. That was a lot of fun. Uh, Zombie on a Mask I've actually rewatched. Fade to Black I've definitely seen a few times. Die Code Santa Claus. Everybody should on that. Who Done It was really good as well. Um, I don't yet have the House of Usher. That's the one I got to pick up. Forgotten Jellies. Everything on the Forgotten Jelly box sets. Everyone. There's 3 box sets. I've watched every single one of those films at least 3 times. At least 3 times for every single one of those Forgotten Jelly box sets. And a couple of those boxes came out like this year. So I'd like really think about that for a second. Am I really making a case for you to wait? Man, these are 3 good releases, man. I'm just gonna say, Flesh for Frankenstein, Trauma, and Creature. William Malone's Creature. I totally understand, Jesse. People not liking Nightmare Weekend. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but I truly, truly do love the film. It is insane. You got Dale Metcalf too, the guy from Pet Cemetery. So how can you not like that? And the most awkward sex scene possible, because yeah, right up there with Madman and the scene in the hot tub. But there's so many good releases that Vinegar Syndrome has put out over the years. Uh, uh, Hitch and Duck was definitely a lot of fun. I really like this one. I was very surprised when people complained that Hitch and Duck wasn't sleazy enough. Yeah, I understand it's not, but it's not meant to be. You got to go with what you got to go. Hey there, Richard. Welcome. uh, you got to go with your gut, Maddie. You got to go with what you really want. I'm not here to tell you this is what you have to get. Oh, or to say this is the thing. You got to know what you want and go with that. If the Shoscope is your thing and the folk horror box set, and by the way, those are amazing. I like the Fear actually. See, that's where we differ. I actually really dug the Fear. I also love the documentary on it as well. But I've been a long time fan of the film Cinematheque. So you want them all? Well, they're not Pokemon, Maddie. You don't have to catch them all, but you'll eventually get them all, I'm sure. Here's the thing: when you can't, not everybody can afford to get the bundle, and I completely understand that. And with that being said, the one thing that I do want to say is don't put yourself in an uncomfortable place or an uncomfortable position. Get what you want. Uh, Stick with go with the stuff that you like, and don't let me or anybody else tell you that you shouldn't get something or that you should get something. But the one thing that I really wanted to do, the one thing that I thought was very important for me to do here today, is that I had seen so much negativity online, and it's so easy to go into the negative. But it's so easy to just say, okay, I don't like this, or I hate this, or this is, you know, um, this is too much, or this movie is junk, or how come it couldn't be this other movie? It's easy to do that. And online, especially on YouTube, I do find that negativity is extremely popular. Um, you crapping on stuff, lots of views, lots of likes for that. But I try not to do that. I try to be honest and give my opinion of exactly how I see it, like kind of warts and all, as my grandparents would say. And this is a time when I could honestly come on here and say, this is something that I really felt strongly about. I thought that people were being unnecessarily negative. Um, and it almost seems negative to say that I think people are being unnecessarily negative, but to be honest, to kind of give a bit of balance to the stuff that we see online, is that I think that that Vinegar Syndrome, they made some what I would consider some mess ups. Like I thought August, September were decent at best and weak at like and a stronger case. But do you know what? I don't think there's anything weak or there's anything like that people are going to be sad about getting from what we've seen so far. And I think the fact that we're getting another 4K and another horror release, that they're giving us solid horror releases for October and November. Plus, the VSAs will probably stick us with the action stuff as well, so we're going to get that too. When I say stick us with, I don't mean that as a bad thing. I mean that you're gonna get both. But the thing of the day, uh, it is like there is some definitely some scary economic place. But here's the thing. So with this, all these companies got to pay rent, got to eat, got to pay their bills too. So just like us, they try to get to that sweet spot. That's going to make them a profit, of course, because they're a company. If they weren't there to make a profit, what they would be out of business pretty quickly. And to still give us stuff that we're going to enjoy. And at the end of the day, when we pay for it, we feel like we've gotten a complete package. And there you go. I hope that if anything today, uh, the chat about this has brought a little bit of a little bit of conversation. Hopefully, it shed a little bit of light on certain releases. I know I didn't talk a lot about William Malone's Creature, but I will say right now there are two versions of this film here. I really do like William Malone, so I would recommend like checking that out if you do have the bones to pick up the this this bundle. You're going to get free shipping during the sale if you're not a subscriber, and that is a big thing, especially if you're getting it from like the UK or Europe or anywhere like that. If you're going from Canada, you're not a subscriber. If you're going to be getting a free releases, if you're one of those people that gets the like, oh, I bought some Vinegar Syndrome stuff during the sale, and it's like almost sky high, shipping's going to help. Free shipping is going to help. And this is your way. This is your in to get it. So if you're going to be buying a lot of stuff during the sale, this is a good way to go about it. Also, the other thing here is that, and this I really want, I can't state like more plainly, in that I have been grabbing, when I was an subscriber, I grabbed the pre-sale bundles for the last couple of times. And you know what happened when I did? When the sale came about and I started to look for it through the sale, there was a great sense of relief. I didn't have to worry about shipping. I didn't have to worry about, am I going to have enough money to get the new releases and still pick up any of the order releases that I want, because the new releases were taken care of. Only thing I had to look at were the VSAs. Anything else was already taken care of. It was already paid for. It was done. That was gone out. So any type of saving up that I wanted to do, any type of like getting any releases during the sale, I was ready. I was prepared. And this is, for me, the best way to prepare you for doing that. Anywho, I am Aaron. I am your holiday horror guy. And I want to thank you for coming in today. Thank you so much for joining me at around 1 hour and 20 minutes long. It's the sweet spot for a really good exploitation film. This has been the Call to Cinema. Actually, you are the Call to Cinema. As always, be happy, be nice. It doesn't cost anything to be kind. And right here, there is always another movie. See you guys soon. Have a great day.